there's a lot of different kinds of talks on housing right now. Some people are saying there's a housing crash. Prices are coming down in certain markets. Some people say we don't have enough supply. Which one is true?
Here's the thing. You can't argue with the math, right? You have to go right back to the data. If you take a look at what happened, because I went through 2008, so I do got to bring everyone back to that. So in 2008, when we had the GFC and the wheels fell off, we actually had 4 million homes on the MLS that actually people lost their homes. And all of a sudden, that's what caused prices to go down. The MLS today has 1 million with more households, and back in 2008, at 125 million households, it had 4 million on the MLS.
Was there 4 million foreclosures?
Yeah, not all of them were foreclosures.
But it was all in the market.
Yeah, and so what that really means is it was very much a buyer's market. There's a lot of homes for sale at one time as a result of the GFC, let's just say. The cause of the GFC, that's another story at another time, but nonetheless, there's 4 million homes on the market. What that did is it severely price corrected everything because of the sheer volume of supply on the market. So that's actually what happened in the GFC. Now, the next part is the most important. So what's not happening after that? There's not a lot of home building because there's a lot of supply. There's not a lot of lending because there's a lot of supply. Because prices are coming down, people have pulled back. So from 2008, 9, 10, 11, 12, let's say, there wasn't a lot of new product added because the 4 million homes was starting to get absorbed naturally over time as the banks were slowly unwinding the chaos that they had on their books. That was a really interesting time. It was a great time to buy, but what was happening during that time is people were being foreclosed on, people were defaulting, banks were taking stuff over, there's a lot of supply and prices were going down. Okay, then what happened was interest rates started to go down. And then what happens when interest rates go down? They start to buy the lower priced homes because they've been repriced. And then all of a sudden you start to get new construction and so things start to swing back the other way. Again, market cycles will happen. People just forget. This is just a correction is all it was. But during that period of time, there wasn't a lot of new construction
and building.
And so the most important thing to remember is household formation went from 125 million to today 133 million. Household formation went up by 8 million people during that period of time.
So 8 million new households added.
Yeah, new households added, not necessarily houses. What you had people being born, people graduating from college.
Everybody.
So imagine if you're 15, 16, 17 years old in 2008, by the time you're 25 years later, which is, call it 2018, you're looking for a home, let's say, right? So you have all this stuff going on and you have a shortage. What you had during that period of time, call it that 10-year period, from 2008 to 2018, was a shortage. You didn't have a lot of new houses and a lot of new supply being added to the U.S. And this is, just go online and look, you'll see. And the reason was the GFC. So what you had population growth, household formation going up, but no new added supply, period. That created a shortage, period. So then you just keep following the line. If you look at population growth, it's like this, right? Unlike Japan, you know what I mean? It's like this. So then what happened was new rates were lower. People started building again, and we just started getting our momentum again, right? And I'm talking about single family, I'm talking about multifamily, I'm talking about just construction.
In 2018, we started.
Yeah, it was actually before that, but it takes a while for the lag to hit. And then we started getting there, and then the pandemic, you know what I mean, just kind of took the wheels off again. We never really caught up. There's all this data. There's the National Home Builders. There's the National Association of Realtors. There's Zillow. There's Realtor.com. There's all kinds of people that have studied this in nauseam. So all you got to do is go look. It's online everywhere. The thing is, it's anywhere from 4 million to 8 million short. So that's the estimate. Now, depending on who it is, so if it's the low housing coalition, low income housing coalition, it's on the higher end. But Zillow just came out recently and said it's about 4.5 million. Realtors about the same. National Association of Realtors is about the same. So they're all around 4 or 5 million. So it's somewhere in there, let's say. So we do have a housing shortage, for sure. And it's a result of the 10-year period after the GFC, period. That's what happened. If you go back and look, you'll see there's just not a lot of new home starts during that period of time. There's not a lot of lending. If a bank's taking on a whole bunch of real estate, they're not going to lend. So all of that just kind of, everybody hit the brakes in 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I was in the middle of this. I went through this personally. You're not thinking of building in 2009 and 2010. You know, things are crazy.
There were so many different properties in the market.
And all this stuff on the market. And, you know, like why would you build a house when you can buy one at 50 cents on the dollar? The supply, the sheer supply of homes on the market in 2008, 2009, restricted really the viability, the financial viability of anything being built. That all had to make its way through, and it did. And then eventually all that stuff got absorbed. And then what happened? During that period of time, all those people that lost those homes, guess what they did? They moved over to the rental side of the equation. So all of a sudden, we had these people that were in homes shift over to rentals because that's what you do. And what did that do?